Well, good day. I don't want to offend people, but honestly, I am just so happy that we're finally going to have a deal with Iran. That we're finally going to sign a peace agreement. Will the Middle East ever be peaceful? Well, would you like to watch through the Bible with Les Feldick? We try, we always try, but Bible prophecy is there. It's in Daniel, it's in Revelation, it's in the four Gospels when Jesus is talking. There's never ever going to be an end to the turmoil until Jesus returns. We can't make Jesus return. There's nothing we can do to make him return. All right? Now, this is what I'm thinking, and it just occurred to me. A lot of people, to preface what just occurred to me, I'm going to give you some background. A lot of people don't understand why we should be Israel's ally. Because they don't read the Bible. They don't know Israel from diddly squat. They don't realize this is, my goodness, I've even talked to fellow Americans around my age, maybe a little bit older. They decide they hate Jews and they hate Israel. I'm like, I'm really shocked. You look like a little harmless old lady and why do you hate the Jews? I mean, like, how can we have such different perspectives? And I said, wasn't the Holocaust terrible? Oh yeah, it was terrible. But October 7th wasn't terrible? Oh, that didn't really happen. And her mind is poisoned by X and maybe too many benzos or something. You just can't communicate with people. So you have people that just hate Israel and don't understand why they should be our ally. My goodness. I mean, they really are on the side of freedom and democracy. Yeah, they're kind of socialist, but, if they want to run their country that way, they can run their country that way. It's not my business, okay? But they're not anti-God. And they're surrounded by nations that don't know God. They think they know God, but it's not the God of the Bible, okay? Read The Dragon's Prophecy by Jonathan Cahn. About a third of the way through it now. Reading it out loud to my family because I don't read books. I can't read. I don't know what the internet did to me, but I can only read if I'm reading out loud to other people. It's so hard for me to concentrate these days. Oh well, that's okay. Make the best of the situation. So we have a lot of people that are just infuriated that we even attacked Iran. And this Fordow thing, that was big. We had these bunker busting bombs. Just what I mean, it's terrible when you, goodness gracious, it's terrible, but so necessary. You know what I'm saying? It's necessary to use overwhelming force against an enemy that's out of control. They would have probably nuked Israel by now. They would have done it had we not intervened. You're not even grateful. You're not grateful. It makes me so upset that we're trying to end this war. Because, yeah, people are complaining. Gas prices are rising. They have been rising. They go up and down, things like that. I mean, Americans who voted for Trump are now mad at Trump because he started this war. You realize we're the only ones that were going to stop Iran from totally... I'm not allowed to use a certain word. I always get... It's just weird that I'm not allowed to use a word. What am I, like 12 years old? No, Susie, you can't use that phrase. Okay. Iran would have totally wigged out, and they would have nuked, because they're so fanatical. They would have nuked Israel. They're crazier than any of the other nations around them. I'm telling you, they are the craziest. So we dealt with the problem. We neutralized the problem. And it's sticky. You know how sticky it is, but we have to end this war, my dear friends, because if we do not end this war, Democrats are going to come into power. You think Democrats are going to be your friend? Do you think that the Harris-Walz administration would have dealt with Iran with that overwhelming force that we used? It would have been, I don't know what to say. It would have been ethical. It would have been ethical. This was, yeah, I mean, I would say, like, is there such a thing as a just war? Obviously. Call it a conflict, call it an intervention, call it a war, call it what you want. It was the right thing to do what we did. And the right thing to do is also to wrap it up. They're not easy people to deal with. We want to get this wrapped up. You're never going to neutralize the problem of hatred and anti-Semitism and violence in the Middle East, but let's get this thing wrapped up so we can get Republicans elected in the fall. Because a lot of people, they're just, oh, I love Trump, I hate Biden. And all of a sudden, I hate Trump. And, there are a lot of stupid people out there. And they vote. I'm sorry, it's true. I mean, you have to balance things. You have to be sophisticated. You have to realize you're not going to get everything you want, okay? That's life. Maybe you always got everything you wanted, and you're just being spoiled. And, this is the thing. I'm sorry if I've offended you. What I really think is that you wanted us to nuke Iran, and not to say that I have not posted that song a few times, but when you think about it, what a horrible, devastating, you don't want to unleash that. You don't want that genie to get out of the bottle. We did that to Japan. And I wasn't alive at the time, and I think it was absolutely horrific that we did that to them. They were not, that regime was not nice, but we punished civilians that were scared of their own government, and they were under the thumb of their own totalitarian government. They were very nasty. The way those soldiers behaved was really nasty. Oh yes, it was a terrible, nasty cult, but I don't know. I have mixed emotions about it. I guess we just didn't want to send our GIs there to have to fight them because we knew how fierce they were. And maybe you might say it was a coward's way out to bomb them. I don't know. Do I know everything? I still feel like could there not have been another way? Could there not have been another way? Could we not have, oddly borrowed a page from Hitler's playbook and started bombing cities, the way the Germans relentlessly bombed London? Could we not have done that rather than using the nuclear bombs? Yeah, that was not good. I'm sorry, but I'm a Christian, so I know war is necessary, and I know that you have to use toughness. You're not going to win by being a big wimp. That's really true. But let's be grateful. Even for something that's not entirely satisfactory, let's just be grateful for the years of peace that we have remaining before Christ returns. Do our best to be peacemakers. Blessed are the peacemakers. Jesus said that. And I know you probably don't like to hear that. But someday, every tongue shall confess that Jesus is Lord and every knee will bow down. I'm telling you, it is happening. So please, I forgive you, but please, be grateful. Be grateful for what the United States did for you. So much money, manpower, resources. Yeah, we did have a few people die in the Iran conflict. Are you grateful for that? What? We don't owe you a darn thing. And you don't owe us anything. Listen, if you want to get the job done, you have the nukes, you do it, but you're not going to do it because you don't want to be retaliated against. Well, why are we going to do it? Do we want to be retaliated against? Do you understand? Put yourself in our shoes, in our position. Imagine. I'm not angry. I'm never, ever not going to want to be your ally. The United States should always be Israel's ally. But if you're not happy with what we did, I'm sorry. Nobody's ever going to get the job done until Christ returns. Thanks so much for listening. Adios.